Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. I guess I need to prop my microphone up there. There we go. Get my mouse and everything all set up good. There we go. I need to fix this camera. I don't know what the deal is, but it just doesn't like to sit straight, you know? Come on. There we go. Much better. All right, so first things first, let's grab the links and turn on the squawk here. Okay. Nope. Copy. Okay, there's the first one. And there's the... Actually, you know what? I'm going to post it here into Stream Channel 2. Since people don't seem to understand. There you go. Okay, so we've had a little bit of a drop in the S&P. Not enough to wipe out Thursday, but a little bit of a dip. We got some earnings coming out, and people seem to be a little concerned about that. So yeah, that's where that's at. Here, and you can see the ZN, popped up a little bit because of it. Now we're forming a range. I think I would like to see this range develop first. Yeah, there we go. Let's make sure we got everything connected. Good morning, Twitch. Oh, hey, did they fix it so that you can see who's on YouTube? No, I don't think they did. I don't think they actually did. Because it's like acting like they do, but they don't. Okay, so for news this week, we have the PPI. PPI is tomorrow. I have any news today. And then Beige Book Wednesday, Thursday, ADP non-farms for Canada. Philly Manufacturing Index. University of Massachusetts Consumer Sentiment and Inflation Expectations. And lots of earnings, which is going to be a really big factor. Okay, Citigroup misses fourth quarter revenue expectations on much weaker than expected bond trading. That's very interesting. Because bonds were moving during the fourth quarter. Not like tons, I didn't make a ton of money off of them, but I don't know, guys. That's interesting. Okay. So they're moving back into this kind of value area between 06 and 04. Kind of want to see it just establish itself.
Saying Europe could collapse over migration.
And Okay.
Just a heads up, just under 5 minutes time at the bottom of the hour, get the release of the Canadian Terranet National Bank House Price Index for December.
Let's get a break of evens, huh? Well, they sure came through that area really easily. Good point. Very good point. Pointing out that the knob spread has been going up. Okay. Well, and all of the volume has been down. So there's that too. There we go. I don't know if the YouTube stream is giving me the right information, guys. It's being kind of slow. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, there you go. Just super light this morning. Oh, it does show me the right. It shows. You see that? There's two people on Twitch, and there's one person on YouTube, and it shows them both now. Whereas last week it said, "Oh, not supported," blah blah blah. So that's cool. I'm happy about that. Okay. Well, see this is, I don't know. They may well go right through that, but there's a lot of, yeah. Okay. 5. So it was 7. They pulled to 5. Yeah. The ZB almost completely pulled. Yeah. Okay, so they tick back up. Not quite as thick.
It's minus about 3% for the Canadian Terranet HPI
Okay,
month-on-month for
that
December.
time when it
year-on-year
ticked up,
in at
there's more, so I'm
2.5%
gonna take
against
it.
the prior of 3.1%, and as said, the month-on-month read coming in at minus about 3%, in line with the prior as well. In equity news, hearing from Continental's CFO saying we do not need drastic restructuring measures because of the slowdown in the auto market. We are constantly working on lowering costs. Also cites that the company is aware that shareholders are expecting a stable dividend in light of the lower share price.
I don't think they're gonna go. Well, we'll see what happens. This is the kind of a little bit of a risky area, but that we're holding 7,000 contracts and it's increasing every time that we uptick is, I believe, a good sign. I believe. $8,000 now. You would need to build some bid here in the 5-year though to really. The problem is that the 5-year could all on its own just push it through. Okay, that's a little better. Ah, good flip. But they're still able to tick down. That's not. Oh, he actually got a tick short and flipping. Oh, that Zerv is so nimble. Watch us bust through 31 now. Yeah, right?
Hearing from the UK Attorney General saying draft Brexit pact represents only politically practicable.
This is a really interesting trade to me because if I'm wrong, it could tell us something really significant about the market. Of course, you got to be careful. There's always a chance that this like pulls and it stops me out and then it moves up. But if this is like a trend and it continues through, then does that mean that the E-mini is getting ready for a big rally? You know what I mean? Their offer is sure is trying hard too. And the 5-year is really pushing down. So E-mini is kind of trying to make some highs. So that might, I wouldn't say highs, but they are kind of trending up a little bit. I think that for this to take, we're going to need to see some movement down and The E-mini. Oh, that's just a lot of contracts at 04. 7,000 is pretty thick.
More from the UK Attorney General saying the letter from the EU means the December summit conclusions would have legal force on the Northern Irish backstop.
It's been a while. Usually when a price is bid, we don't get more than 4 or 5,000. So to see 7,000 stacked on there is a lot. And the problem is you still got it's always a two-way street, right? This could mean that they can't get through that. Oh, only 4,000 traded. Okay, took me out. Or it could mean it could be a magnet. Okay, well now they're stacking. Hmm. Especially with that offer that's been left behind now.
UK Attorney General saying it is unlikely that the EU will wish to rely on the implementation of the Irish backstop provision.
I'm really tempted just based on the big offer to reverse now. But I've been tricked out on that before. So I'm a little worried about that one. Also, you're still seeing the big number down at the bottom. Well, there's a few targets showing up below. Let's see here. Mm. Okay. They're filling out 03 too. So you don't necessarily want to reverse that one. Let's see here. Where do I find this? Hmm. Past week. Ah, okay, here it is. So today we get City, Investco, and Shaw. Hmm. Here we go. Here's the NASDAQ calendar. Hmm. Oh, they only have those two as well. How about the Yahoo's calendar? Hmm. Yeah, not really any more big ones today. Where's it coming from? Hmm.
Seeing Greek news, January to December state primary budget surplus of 3.16 billion euros.
Okay, so gold is really getting hit at the moment. Oil's not doing anything. Then a look at the currencies doesn't show anything significant yet. There is a lot of absorption on this down, especially in the bond. This one right here, they took 1,000. I guess 1,000 isn't crazy. I mean, I've seen 2,000. I think I've even seen 5,000 in the bond, but we did push through. And I kind of wonder if, I don't know. I kind of wonder what's going on here. That was a strong downtrend, seemingly out of nowhere. Seemingly out of nowhere. One thing I do find interesting is that the Citigroup earnings, according to CNBC at least, one of the things that they highlighted was that the bond trading was not very good. But I did not feel that bond trading for me in the fourth quarter of this past year was like super awful. You know what I mean? I'm sure somebody made good money during all that. So maybe it is the case that others don't have it so bad. Could also be that I mean the E-mini is still moving up. Maybe the E-mini takes a pivot and then we could turn. So I'm going to keep an eye on that too. Wonder now if yes. Oh, I can do interest rates and I can do stream. That's so amazing, guys. Guys. And we'll add equity indexes. And I'll add the lobby. That's so great. Wait. Okay, so now let's look. This is 2 of 3 connected. Oh, it says Discord stopped. I bet you I would have to restart it to make it happen. Well, they're still going. Three of 3. Can I send a message to, oh, it's read only. Okay, so now let's embed in stream. Yeah, how should we make this look, guys? I think it would be better to have it, well, what do you think? Should we keep it the same dark gray, or should we make it the same color as the back of the DOM? I'm not a huge fan of their, here, I'm gonna pull it over here. I'm not a huge fan of their, okay, they got boxed. They like it boxed. Ooh, they like it compact too. Oh, can you not even actually really, you can't even actually change the colors of it, can you? Well, I think that compact is better. What does message alignment bottom versus top do? Let's keep it top. Copy. So let's see if I can add it in here. New browser. Create new. We'll call it Restream. URL. Aha. Okay. Well, that we need to change a few things about it though.
So as we head closer into the cash equity open for the New York traders joining us, just be aware on Fox
Man.
Business Network at
Man,
1900
oh
GMT
man,
today,
this is
Fed's Vice
just
Chairman
going
Jeremy
and
will be
going.
in an interview with Fox Business Network. That's 1900 GMT.
Oh, let's get rid of this one. Okay. Oh, you know what I still have? Man. Man alive. It didn't I don't know. This is super interesting. Okay, I'm gonna remove that again. Try and add it back in. I don't know how big that is, but let's just say that it's 400 by 200. Okay. Okay, how about that? How does that look? Okay. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Well, they have decided that today is going to be a trend down day. I think equities have not done anything. Could be a number of, the problem is it could be a number of things making it move like this. Sweet. Okay, so for you guys over there on YouTube, let me know, how does that look with the new chat widget on the left
Spain's
side of
budget
the screen?
minister says if Parliament rejects the budget proposal, the public deficit would be 2.2 to 2.4% of GDP.
This whole move is a little weird. Did it all on its own in Treasuries. They went through several very, very large icebergs and orders and everything. Looks good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I really like that because now you can see all three chats in one spot. That's great. I hope that for people that are coming in and that are new, and that'll give them a better idea of what our community looks like and is saying. Anyways, there was a lot of icebergs. Now, I don't want to get filled at 11. That's not. Or sorry, 10. 01. 010 is no good. Especially since there's a huge iceberg there. Man. But it's not just weird that it was a big move down, but it was a big move down on a Monday. Is a little weird. There's not any significant news today. We did have we have CPI, PPI tomorrow. But I don't know if that's related. But then equities are not going with it. Now, this could be related to the move down in gold. What is an iceberg? Okay, very good question. So do you see right now that there is 2,000 on the bid, but almost 4,000 have traded into it? And never at any time while it has been trading did this ever go below or above 2,000. So what had happened was somebody has a refreshing order in there, which says show 500. And then when your 500 gets filled, put another 500 on. And so what will happen is you will see that the bid will stay constant, even though there's tons of selling into it. So that's what I mean by an iceberg. So especially like this 5960 or here on 1538 in ZB, right? They never have 1538 bid. That would be a lot. Got it? Okay, do you use ATR? Yes, kind of. So I will look at the ATR for my time frame to give myself an idea of where my target should be. But I do not have that indicator anywhere on my chart. I just kind of know what it typically is and can kind of guesstimate it. Yeah. And I do look at the ATR on like a daily chart basis from time to time. But that's kind of something that, I don't necessarily need to have up on a chart anywhere, But I think ATRs are really good to give you an idea of how far it may go. Well, I think that this could go at least to here. I want to get that because that was where we had a little bit of a fall through there. A little bit of a gap was left behind. And so that might be a spot for it to turn back around when they do. Okay. I would expect that we would get a little bit more upside than that. Even though this taking a counter trend trade like this is a little risky. They're stacking like 5,000 on it and then taking it off. Nothing reacted to it. That's very interesting. Save my layout changes, by the way. Okay.
So in a tweet from Adam Payne here saying ERGMP says they'd back the deal if May could persuade the DUP to abstain, and that around 25 other Conservatives would do the same. Significant number of Tories taking their cues from Foster et al.
Oh, okay. So Patrick Rooney is mentioning here in Twitter that there are some big options trades out there. Okay. Okay, they did tick up, but not a very impressive bid. And of course, they take it back down almost immediately. Average move is double compared to last year, and so does it mean each year with rise and falling points it becomes half or double? I'm not quite sure I completely understand what you're saying. The way I look at the range, though, is that in ZN in particular, ZBN, ZN, the average range of a 30-minute period is going to be 4 to 5 ticks. So if we had a really big rush down, and we have a pullback, the chances are the most likely pullback that you're going to get is 4 to 5 ticks, right? But because we move down so much, the average true range is going to be a little bit more. And so if it goes short again, I don't know, but if it goes short again, maybe I think ZN could pretty easily get down to the lows of the day if they go short again. But first, I think that the momentum needs to equalize a little bit. Usually they come back to neutral, and then they sell it. Are seeing the E-mini is turning down a little bit. But you can also look at like a daily chart, the average true range on a daily chart, and say, oh, okay, the true range is decreasing, and that means that we're consolidating, and that kind of changes the kind of trades that you would look for. Okay, they bought into 015. I went through that pretty easily. Bottom was at zeros, so let's remember that. Look at that bid building up. Yeah, that offer's gonna... I think somebody's gonna back off here. But we should be careful. That was a decent amount absorbed. That was a big bid. E-mini is pushing down a little bit more. It may be because there's this big old order at 035, there actually is a chance that we get to 035. So I'm kind of watching that. Depending on how this next one ticks, I might change something here. If it ever does it. The bid is pushing, but they're not buying into it, are they? Ooh, look at that in the 5-year. And ticked up in 2000, sold into it, and it's holding. We ever see... No, nobody really has an explanation for why gold took a careen. It cratered, and they sure sold it. And then I want to see a flip here in the 5-year. Come on. Okay. So they bought everything that they had there, and sellers very aggressively held it. So I want out.
Comment snow from Italian Conti, the government reshuffle is not an option.
I think that you might be getting some spreading here, causing this. Yeah. Okay. Well, that erases our mistake from earlier, at least. So when I do that, does it shove what is... No, it doesn't. Oh, no, wait, it does. It totally does. The Restream bot copies what's going on in Discord over into YouTube and Twitch. Well, well, well. Okay. See, they're still not getting to 025. That's really cool. I'm so happy that they that new version fixed almost all of those problems. There's a little bit of a delay. So I saw Fire Trading say something there, and then it took about like 5 seconds for it to show up over here.
Norman Smith, rather not BBC's Norman Smith, saying Jeremy Corbyn is addressing Labour MPs tonight.
This is just massive icebergs going on here. Let's see. I wonder if CNBC says anything interesting about...
Swedish speaker here saying we'll hold talks again with parties on Wednesday. The PM vote may be held on Friday.
Gold. Gold rises as weak Chinese trade data revives growth concerns. Well, okay, but gold went down, so still no word on why gold is moving. How about on Twitter? Nothing there either. So gold just moved down a good $6 for no reason. Yeah, and that O2 is not going bid, so they are trying to stop it there. And I can see some liquidity move down there with the probably because they're concerned that they weren't going to get filled up where they were. Possibly because of that. Let's fix the ZF chart there. There we go. I don't know why Jigsaw does that. They need to fix that. Oof. Look at that. Okay, so the 5-year just flipped around again.
Fixed income news, Italy's Treasuries.
You could potentially sell that.
Sell the new 15-year BTP.
I think I might want to sell that. O2 is where we were rotating around. Okay, it upticked without much. Oh, that's, yeah, on trading view. If you have 3 charts on one view, and how do you swap them? I think there's like a, where was that? The lobby? Okay. So 187, 18 3/4 rather, in the 5-year is like where the last significant big order in the 5-year went through. It was a sell order, and it was pretty big. Can't seem to find it. Let's see if I can show him. Hmm. So I was kind of looking for it short, and this was all that they went. And there's actually kind of like a possibility that they tick back up again. I think. No, I think that with multiple indicators, it moves it up. Let's see here. I don't know if there's a way to move how it's been so long since I had a TradingView subscription that I don't remember how you do those sorts of things. So the thing that I see is all of this red, even on the way up, all red. All red. So even this upticking had a lot of absorption to the short side. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Hmm. I don't know. Let's see it tick down again. Good morning, wrong. Wait, weren't you already? Oh yeah, yeah, we were there. Man. Well, that's not a spot that I think I really want to buy. Was it nighttime there? Wait, do you live in like Asia area? Well, you'd have to be further east than Europe, right? See, that's a decent amount of selling at '01. But I'm a little I don't know. Maybe it's okay. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, so for this trade to be okay, I need to have a really good idea that it's going to move down. Oh, you live in China. That's okay. Um, like my probability that it needs to move down needs to be more than 50%. Is the probability that it's going to move down more than 50%? I don't know about that. Yeah, you can see they tick up there. Oh, you got sent him some plates. Hmm. See, ticked up. Nobody's really buying it though. Okay, there's the 5 year ticked up. You can see they're at 19. They're a little scared of it. Are we talking about dinner plates? Uh, hmm. The other thing is that all of these bids up here are super thick. We see targets down here, but it's not thick on the other side. Hmm. Well, the bid is getting a little weak there at 015. We did get the pullback. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Picture perfect pullback. So it's supposed to be a joke. Oh, you know how we all have fine china to use for dinner. I see. Eh. Okay. I didn't. Way too serious about
Seeing a
everything.
tweet
That's my
from
problem,
Writings
guys.
Paul Brand saying, understand Brexit is holding out for another 5 potential resignations from the junior ranks of government today/tomorrow.
You know, they have been buying into
Handelsblatt
it, and
reports
there's
that
a
Germany
reasonable
does not
iceberg at
plan to sell the
015.
Deutsche Post stake.
So the wild thing about today is that we've seen big bids and offers and big icebergs many places, and they've been able to go through them in many places.
Handelsblatt also reporting Germany does not plan to exit the Deutsche Telekom stake.
Okay, so there the 5-year tick down again, and it put a few more people on offer. I think that we need to see a flip here to really see a real change. Yeah. Okay, there's a flip there, flip there. Not quite in the 30-year yet. Okay. Okay, there it went. It looks like if they do trade through a 1, that there might be a decent amount that trade there too. Like it might be even 3,000. We'll see, but oh, nope, only 2,000. Okay, and a pretty strong offer with it as well. And the 0-0 half evens half is pulled. It's pretty fairly about half of it pulled. I would say about half of that pulled. 5 years not really putting on a ton of pressure though. Gold still trugging along there. Uptick. Okay, so it looks relatively balanced at 01 now. So I'm going to put an eye there. So this is the bottom of the range in the 5-year.
News voices sources saying the Exxon Baytown, Texas refinery shutting its large crude unit for an overhaul.
Hmm. Well, then now that one was interesting. The 5-year ticked up and the 10 didn't. It's probably too balanced to be in here. And the 5-year is not really putting the pressure on down to the downside, so. That probably, as they commonly do, they will get me out. Yeah, there we go. They got me out, and now maybe they're gonna go careening down for the low.
Equity News hearing from Citigroup CFO saying the bank has seen improvements in its trading conditions in the first quarter of this year.
Cool story, bro. Balanced. Very, very balanced here. So if I had been able to get a better spot like O2, for instance, maybe it would be okay to be holding it short on that maybe it gets out there, because you're still a good chance of getting filled at O1 if you absolutely have to. But if you're going to be short, you want to be short above the balanced area. Otherwise, you just get a really good chance of getting thrashed around and or stopped out and still be right. So
I've seen a comment
it's
here
just
from
not the
Trio
best
saying
risk
there are no
reward
major
spot.
problems with Italy's banks, but we have some problems because of EU banking rules.
And see, now it's giving you a chance to go short at 015 or even 02. But that just kind of might be a tip off that they're going to move higher. Cool story, bro. Mm. Well, if they did go long, there's a lot. It's super thick above us. So there it's giving you O2. I went bid. Previous high in the 5-year was 195. I'm gonna take it here and I'll ditch it real fast if we don't get a rally in the E-mini. That's a pretty slow open for the E-mini, isn't it? Hmm. This is extremely unusual. I've been finding myself saying that a lot today, haven't I? Okay. They are falling down a little bit.
Trump just saying here we're doing very well with China.
Oh, good deal. So Donald Trump is there trying to prop up the markets right on the open, huh? Yeah.
Trump just reiterating again that China wants to negotiate.
That's great. Okay, so we're actually getting some bubbles there in the E-mini, so we might actually start buying here. Which, now that I've said that,
Saying
means
he
that they're
thinks the US
probably
will get a trade deal with China.
gonna just dive. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, there's some a little bit. Nope. You can see a little bit of buying will come into the E-mini, but then it doesn't. It doesn't go very far at all. All right. Well. Hmm. This is interesting. Okay. Okay, that was a lot more progress on the buy side in the E-mini. Hmm. Now that they've got a little bit, they had a little bit of a buy. Now the E-mini is waking up a little bit. The significant amount of volume here may not necessarily be important. Okay. Well, finally did what I wanted it to. Should be careful because I sold at 02. So even though we got that buying spike, and it is a significant buy, it is not getting as far. Man. And there's a bubble there. Okay. Hmm. I'd say that was a really strong buying spike in the E-mini. And something like that is often a really good indication of some more upside. But it is just being really, really slow about it this morning in the E-mini. And treasuries are not quite don't appear to be buying it quite. $25, $65 on the downside. Yeah, well, that's way down there though. Dang. But just keep in mind that like this they're not even over on the high. Yeah, okay, now what's going? It might take all day. Okay. Too bad I wasn't able to, I didn't keep that. I gotta be a little cautious because that O2 would be a spot where I would maybe be thinking about getting out. But the O1 was where it was balanced. So there is a good chance that they get back there. But O2 was the edge, so there's going to be a little bit of position defense here at O2. Yeah. So ES is kind of ranging around here. Chances are that they would actually get up to 2582 on the upside. So that's kind of where like single prints start. So there may be another leg in this. Let's see. Yeah, there they are at the high. Taking the high. Only by a tick. ZN down ticking, but like only barely. ZF not really showing indications that they're going to take it down here. Even though there's plenty of room below. Seems like this correlation's not working for us anymore. No, the 03. Well, I think I got out of that. Did a good job getting out of that there. I need to be a little bit more patient because this action is all a little bit uncertain. Probably not really the best setup for me. But those last two real in particular were a little uncertain about where we were going to go. And especially now that it's ticked up a few, despite the E-mini going down. That's really, I don't know. There's a big bid below us at O2 as well, and most of the offers have lightened up. Like we've gone through them, or yeah, good day for a Trump tweet. Well, he did tweet, right? That was the other weird thing, was what he tweeted was overall positive, he said. Oh, he didn't tweet anything. He was just talking, I guess. But he was talking up the trade deal with China. Look at the cumulative delta. Flat. Where we're at right now looks very equalized to me. So if this really was a trend down day and they're going to continue down, they're going to do it here. Well, that's pull is, yeah, I think so. Very curious. Oh, the E-mini's moving down a little bit. Now they're buying it a little bit. Oof. Think they go for another? Hmm. The buying looks good over here. And I like the way that my spot is holding. At least it's balanced. Retail is trying to get as short as possible this morning. You think so?
Said to consider backing Tory MP amendment to her deal. May said to mull end date plan for backstop to win Brexit vote. Just to repeat then, EU has rejected UK's call to add end date to backstop. Plan would set December 2021 end date to Irish border backstop. And May is said to consider backing Tory MP amendment to her deal. May said to mull end date plan for backstop to win Brexit vote.
That's good. Right, that's that getting the data on the backstop, that makes it more likely to pass, right? Okay, now they're towards the low of this range. I do detect a bit of skepticism over in the equities on that rally. I'd say, though, that was a really strong buy. If this fails, if that buy fails and retraces, then could get ugly. Well, I didn't want to see the O3 and go bid. Hmm. It's right there at 78, 75. You can't seem to get over that. They come right back up to it really easily, but then nobody wants to take it past that. I should be careful. Like maybe this whole move down that we had in treasuries was due to the move down in gold. And if that's the case, then that move does not necessarily matter to the correlation between equities and ZN. And so I do think that buy was a strong looking buy that could continue. And at the moment, I haven't seen anything that really dashes that that theory. But I don't like this trade anymore because I'm having a really hard time finding a good position for it. See that? They actually made it up there, and now the offers are pulling at 035. Even as the E-mini is probably about to go and bust the top, potentially. It's not ticking down yet. There we go. Now it's ticking down. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Finally a good hold at 03, okay. 025, not a huge bid, or sorry, offer. There's a bid at 02. So it's going to take a lot to get through there. I think that my positioning on that trade was really poor. Okay, well that's a little better that we saw at least 500 trade up into it and it's still holding an offer. You know, trading it back down every time that it goes bid. Pretty easily. The E-mini doesn't look done yet either. The 5-year really looks negative to me. Like the chart pattern in the 5-year looks like classic double top. Except for that their cumulative delta was actually a little bit higher on the right shoulder, which is unusual. But you see, it's still not. Treasuries don't seem to be that interested in going. It is a zoo at my house. I have tropical birds, sun conures. And as soon as the family comes down, they just love to squawk in the morning. And stupid me thought that it would be a great idea to have French doors for this room. And the sound just goes right through that glass. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, E-mini looks like it's got some support at that level. Let's see if I can sneak one in here. Okay. The fill was good. I like that. It's not quite lining up quite right, though, for this to happen. There's some support here. Should be careful. There is a little bit of a head and shoulders possibility here in the E-mini. Kind of the flat shouldered one. It's always a little interesting too. This 19 3/4 is a little pulley, but not as much as the 20. And here, 25 in the 30 year is just holding tight. Ah, better. More significant pull that time. It's interesting, we've had the gap here between 025 and 03. So to have a hard time getting filled at 02.5 is a little unusual. But normally you would fill. Especially when I'm with 312 in line, come on. Oh, I guess 1300 traded. That's good. That's still pulling, that's pulling. There's a big offer here now, which is not good. And they usually trade through those, but yeah, see? Traded through that actually really easily. Now it shows up again. Ah, good. Whew, that was a little tense for me. Iceberg at 03. It was kind of looking like potentially there was a head and shoulders there in the E-mini, but now it looks like a fake one. I will explain why I say that. I'm keeping an eye on this, so this is like really... where did it go? And should be there somewhere. There it is. Okay. Here's your shoulder, and here's your shoulder, and here's your head, and here's the neckline, right? Look at the cumulative delta at those 3 points. So the cumulative delta on the right side is pretty much equal to, or possibly even greater than, on the left shoulder. So that is not necessarily a clear indication of decreasing interest, and therefore it's not a true head and shoulders. Okay, so now that time you saw a little bit of buying. Treasuries really reacted to it, but it was just kind of a temporary little move. Now it's already back to where it was. And you can see treasuries are now starting to get a little bit more, a little easier at 0.25. It's going offer, in fact. Ooh, big offer, but they traded up and it pulled. Now big offer stacked at 0.25. They're playing games now. Tense. There they go, though. To the high. Still not doing a strong offer on the downtick, though. Okay, that's a little better. I think that equities should be able to get to at least 25.85. That would be the upside target. Shouldn't say I think it'll get there, at least I should just say that would be like the upside target for the single prints created overnight to get filled. Man, this continues to be stuck here.
Seeing the US Treasury says it's implementing shutdown contingency plans.
Okay. I wonder what those are.
US Treasury saying expected personnel will ensure trade talks continue.
Yay, that's good. Not a huge deal, but still. Pulling iceberg here at 19 3/4. E-mini maybe has a little bit more gas than this leg left in it. They did make a new high there. I don't know if they're going to go immediately go and make a new high, you know, a big stop run higher though after that. That's a little uncertain. they might come back down here and then make it, you know? Yeah, responsive buying in ES, be careful, can't come short. Yeah. Well, I'm not so... I feel like with this buying right here, the chances of them going short and really pushing the 2570 area, at least at the moment, is a little bit lower. But they could come back to 2575 and then maybe find some support. And then we see what they do. And see, at the moment that there's stacking and pulling at 025 that is quite significant and going both ways. I don't know if somebody is trying to trick the market here or if a robot is just confused. Like that they're getting overloaded with too many signals or something. Or if it's somebody trying to, if it's a, what do they call it? A predatory algorithm. See, that was a significant pull there. And then barely anything traded into it. I will say, though, the price action in the 5-year looks particularly negative. So did that thing that I said about the head and shoulders in the E-mini make sense? Do you guys care? There is a little bit of support here. Excuse me. Isn't that the most wonderful sound to have in your ears? The sound of Seth swallowing. See, it pulls. They're eyeing a new high again. $19.75 is still not getting a significant offer. Okay, they took that one really fast. But it didn't stay. There they go again, some absorption, so profit taking. Ooh. Okay. $19.5 is like really weak and not going. Ah. Not a strong offer. Okay, that was a little bit better because 500 traded up into an install offer. And get ticked up and back down, but showing 510. Now there's a flip. Yes, it's still trading up there like they think that there's more in it. Wonder is gold. Where did gold end up? Okay, gold looks like they took a dip and now they're balanced. And there's a pretty decent bubble there at 83.50. 500 now on both sides in the 5-year. Downtick. Not quite through it. There's a big order at 19 though. Around, let's reset it. Reset my DOMs here. Okay, a decent amount offered at 202 iceberging. Yes, does not look finished. I think that they want to go for that big old order there. I think they are past, yeah. They look like they are past the single prints now. So I believe, and it didn't really look like there was, I saw profit taking, but I didn't see significant position defense in the E-mini, so that kind of increases the possibility that the E-mini could go for even more. Man, this is like really starting to look like really strong buying in the E-mini. Kind of starting to confirm the strong downtrend that we had at the beginning of the session in the Treasuries. The only problem I see is that they don't seem to be like really trying to push it in the Treasuries. You know, like that's just robots going back and forth, I think. For the most part, I'm not getting like a super strong offer following it or anything like that. Just maybe a couple of people that had been long from up here puking was maybe just what caused that. Okay. Well, the 5-year is leading the way as expected. E-mini's still kind of going. Just little step by little step. Okay. So that was okay. 1600 on the downtick. Okay. Well, there's a big order up there in equities, right? So that's where you get they I've noticed that in the equities they really like to go and get those. Sometimes they leave them behind and they don't come back for them for a long time, but they really like to go get those. Okay. Quite a bit of iceberging at L1. Not. So this is an area here. The 5-year is right at the bottom of its range now. They came down into that awfully quickly. So it's interesting that they're not going for it yet. They may do it though. That could go offer and they could start stacking a ton on it and it could just go all at once. I think if it does, I think I better have this down here just in case. Look at the 30 years already at its lows. Okay. A little bit of a change there. Equities coming down a little bit. Ooh, still iceberging it at one. Oh. Well, if that was somebody getting short, I would be fairly happy with that. And equity is going to find some support here. $8.17. I think a couple of people got bored waiting for this to go. It's interesting to watch viewer numbers come and go. These newer people are like, I don't know if it's ever going to do anything. Or maybe they just said, hey, good job, Seth. You got 4 ticks. You're not taking the profit. Now I'm going to go because you should be taking the profit and you're not and you're stupid. That's probably what they're thinking. I like this right here. Come on, you got a little bit more in you? Yeah. Sure. And a little flip there in the 5-year again. I really want to see if that 182, they've never traded 18. I think my data feed is like $5 a month. Who is this over here in the lobby, by the way? Oh yeah, I use Rhythmic. I think it's like 5. Okay. Well, a good stack it in the 10-year, but not in the 5-year yet. Ah, it's going through it without even any resistance. All right. Well, now we could be looking at okay. The next spot is 25.91. 25.91, 92 area. So I haven't looked at the commission in a long time. I think that round trip it's about 250. And you can really get that down. It's AMP. So if you want to know, I always would have to look it up, but they have all of the information on AMP's website. Like if you just go over to the right, so it's kind of hidden, but if you go like on AMP's webpage and under like customer portal or something on, it's like on towards the right of their bar at the top, their menu bar at the top. And in there's stuff that will tell you about commissions and data feeds. Okay. There could be more, but that is the first time that I've seen through this a buyer stick his neck out. Okay. Okay. I'm happy with that. I think that earlier. Okay, wait. Let's find this. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna get the answer for you, like for real now. Since okay, yeah. Commissions. There it is. And then they give you a little like exact cost calculator. Is that it? Yes. Okay. And in ZN is 256 round turn. Good deal. And then let's just double check on the futures. So I'll show you. Here's AMP. Oops, I don't need it to be that big. We still want to see the market. Okay. So here's AMP, and then you go to Client Portal, Exchange Data Fees. And then you got, oops. Let me get a little bit bigger. So I have the CME, and I only have the CBOT, I think. Oh, no, wait, maybe I have the bundle. I think I have the bundle. Anyway, so it's $15, but you can get it, like, if you just want the CBOT, right? These other ones are, like, crazy. Well, the volatility index isn't too bad, but, like, to get ICE, $117 to be able to look at the dollar index is like, ugh, kill me. It's so much. So much just so that you can get a better idea of what currencies are doing, you know? Well, I have to say, we said when this started, hey, that was a really strong move down in treasuries. I wonder if they're going to turn around and buy equities. And they did. But it was super fucking slow. So I can't really say that that was like an amazing trade. But it worked out in the end. The thing that sucks about it, though, is that there was all this. So look at all of these were sells. And I lost 5 ticks through there. Let's just say that these two canceled each other out. So I lost 4 ticks through there. You know, that was unnecessary, really. Now, I think I made some mistakes because number one, you know, the risk reward at that particular location was not super spectacular. Number two, I took that trade. I opened it right at the E-mini open. You see that right there, 0730? So I did that right at the open and kept it for 5 minutes. You know, I should have known there was going to be volatile there and that my probability becomes a little bit more random. Let's say like the probability of me being able to predict it decreases significantly. So I'm going to say that that one was a mistake for sure. Now this one at 045, I was a legit trade. It didn't work out. My stop should take me out at -2, and if I had been trading that live, I think that would have been -2 because I did not see stops at the -3. So that should have been -2. And then really, I should have just turned around and sold it, but I'm not that gutsy. I might be switching over to Rhythmic, but isn't the routing fee close to 0.25? Yeah, so here it is. Here's the fee right here. So, Oh, it doesn't include the monthly exchange data fees. No. Wait, where is it? Oh, I guess I think that includes the rhythmic. See, here you can say if it was CQG, okay, that adds 10 cents. Or is it? We're looking at the 10-year treasury right here. Rhythmic, I think, yes. Oh, okay, so you're right. So it's actually 306. Forgot about that. Some of these other ones, like trading technologies, you don't pay for it. Now, if you do rhythmic and I do volume tiered and I'm doing 100, I think that brings us down a little bit. So then you can get as low as 178 if you're trading 1,000 contracts. And I think that means like, I think that means that you have to be trading 1,000 contracts a month, right? You get high volume tiered, then it's really crazy. There's also this membership that they give you. So with this one is like the Tradeovate pricing. So this one is, I think that you pay $1,000 for the whole year, and then that's what you pay per trade. And at that point, you're basically only paying the exchange. You're only paying the exchange commission at that point, if that makes sense. So, yeah. You can do either or. Either or. If you're under 10K in your account, your round turn is going to be higher. Yes. Well, and really, like if we look at
So by the
let's just pull this over
Italy's
here.
Tria says Italy's banking problem is limited to 1 to 2 small ones.
Let's just say that we look through all of December. You know,
Tria says the
how many
Italian
trades
banking
is
sector
that?
is solid. This is
No,
by the
it wouldn't really tell us, but it's not 1,000 trades, right? So I would not qualify for the volume tiered. No way. But we could, we need to look at this even more in detail. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, that's right. Losing my focus here. Oh, I forgot that it only does it through Chrome. All right. Hold on. Now Google has to be like, okay, Seth logged in. Let's find out what we can find out about him now that he's logged back in. Giving them all my data, my trades. Or no, let's just do my dashboard. Okay. So, for January, doing okay in January. 44 trades in January. Okay, let's look at December. December through the 28th. Okay, so for the whole month of December, I actually was up a little bit in December. Good deal. Okay, but through the whole month of December, it took 91 trades. So let's say that you do 100 trades per month. Okay. And the commission is $3 for versus 121, I guess, right? So 3.06 minus 1.21 equals 185. So 1,000 divided by 1.85. It's 540 trades. So if you did their membership, which is $1,000 to start out with, and you really traded 100 trades every month or so, then after 5 months, that would pay for it, and then at that point, your commissions would be cheaper. So that tier is worth it. But obviously, it's not as good as if you just were pushing 1,000 lots every month. Yeah. Can't stand the Tastyworks application? Oh, so do they have? They don't have the new exchange in there yet, do they, Zerv? So I really want to know what their instruments are going to be. Because I mean, if they've got micro e-minis, man, I think that's worth putting $2,000 in for. 100%, 100% worth it. I trade only 1 to 4 contracts, so I wouldn't qualify either. Yeah, but you could do, the membership one, which is just like Tradeovate, but Tradeovate charges you like $90 a month, whereas theirs is like you just get a membership at the beginning of the year. I think they actually last year, in fact, I didn't see anything this year, but I seem to recall last year they actually did like a special deal of some sort. Jigsaw always does a deal of some sort too. Here we go. Here comes the 85 now. I think I did a good job getting out where I did, though. I'm not going to take any more trades. It's after 8:30, but I'm liking where this is headed. Oh my. Look at those offers stack. My, oh my. Okay, so that's where I got out at, right? Yeah. I can't believe I got all the way from 030 to 31. So 7 ticks, right? Yep, 7 ticks. That kind of put things in perspective too, right? Because when you consider that over the past 2 months, I've made about $1,500. But then when you take the commissions out of there, it's a pretty big chunk out of it. That's like almost 10% chunk out of it. And then you take the taxes, just another 30%. I really only made $500 to $600. And that sucks, right? Getting that commission down in the 10-year makes a big difference. In the 30-year, not such a big deal because the commission is almost the same. Where did it go? See, like the 30-year is like 133 and the 10-year is like 128. That is if you're doing the high, but the flat rate is where is it? Oh. Minimum equity deposit 100 or USD equivalent. I don't know what you go. Oh, if you have a $10,000 account, then you get the flat rate, which is 306. Let's see, it's 316 in ZB. So you pay literally 10 cents more to trade in ZB to get double the profit per tick, right? So the commissions almost become insignificant in ZB. Yes, it's the volume tier that you start to get. That must be only one side, so it's actually more than that. 178. It's actually more like $4. Or is that round turned? I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, fees are expensive, but I mean, you'd have to be if it was something that's making money. Like in my mind, that the that you don't really pay commissions in Forex is like the first flashing red light that Forex is probably not a good trade. You know what I mean? AMP only supports spread margins with TT. Oh, right. Well, so when you trade spreads, it doesn't support the spread margins? Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure that it's the regular span margins. In fact, I emailed them about that once. Let me see. AMP spread. Yeah, I asked the AMP chat one time if they give you margin spreads, and they said that whatever you get from the spread calculator on the CME group span margin requirements is what they give you. So the thing is that it's all through the data provider. So like to actually see how much margin you're taking up, I would have to open up our trader to see what the margin requirement would be, because Jigsaw's not capable of showing it to me. But Jigsaw only just now added some stuff to like support showing you, for instance, your profit loss on a spread trade, for instance. But that's just like with legging in. You'd have to leg in. And I think my recollection is, if I open up here, I think if I just open up a new depth in sales and I say spread, maybe I can only do it from here. I guess not. I guess you can't, because then it's not. Yeah, nothing shows up. Doesn't show anything about the connections because I'm only connected through the. So then, well, I would have to be able to see the spread in Ninja Trader, which I don't think.
Just going to comment here from DUP Deputy Leader Dodd says would not support a Labour vote of no confidence in the government if PM May's Brexit deal has been defeated.
Let's see, like if I search for knob, doesn't show up. So I can't see them. Through Rhythmic and what I paid for, I don't get them. I think that CQG gives them to you. My recollection was that when I was using CQG, yeah, I said AMP. This is all AMP that I'm talking about. Well, that's where I'm kind of saying, like, AMP is not... I'm not going to say the AMP is the best broker. I don't think. I think that if you have the money... if I had a $20,000, $10,000 or $20,000 account, I forget how much it is, probably would have wanted, I think that their minimum is 10,000, so you'd want to have more than that. But if you had a big enough account, I would go to stage 5, because then Futures Trader 71 can tell you, hey, you're being an idiot, stop trading. You know what I mean? Right? Who wants to spread trade does not pass TT. So if if that was meant to mean that if you want to spread trade, you should be using TT, 100% agree with you. 100%. I think that day trader will get there someday, but it's not there right now. They're not there on the spread trading. I use AMP. I really like them. They've been good to me. Yeah, they've been good to me as well. And the reason why I always bring up AMP is because you only need a $500 minimum deposit to trade with them. And that is incredibly foolish. But if you only have $500, I think you should put the $500 in there and trade sim. Use the data to trade sim. And you can do that. It totally works. It's great. That's what I would do. And yeah, so that's why they're popular. And then the other one that is worth looking into is Tradeovate, right? So they were the ones that invented like the you pay us a monthly fee and then we get, because they weren't making money because people weren't trading with their accounts. So then they said, you give us $99. Yep, you can sim trade for a long time with $500. Yes, you can. And honestly, like the thing that is this in my mind is always compared to a combine, because really when you look at my performance, right, I've made in the past 2 months made about $1,200, $1,300 net trading one contract of ZN. Okay, so if you did a combine and you were trading ZB and you happened to trade ZB as well as I had traded ZN, so we'll just assume for a moment that you got the double the profit, then you would have passed the combine. Easy. If you had traded 2 or more contracts, you would have passed the combine. And I don't think that I ever came anywhere even close to the daily maximum drawdown, right? Like the worst loser that I had during that time period was like -5 on the day. So like $100, $100 loss. And you can lose, I believe that the daily max draw is 1,000 in one day. So you're not even going to come even to a tenth of that, right? So given this performance, if I traded the combine, would have passed the combine, okay? But took me 2 months. Took me 2 months to do it, okay? Which is $300, right? $300 that you could have put into your AMP account, right? And then, granted, you're not actually making money with Top Step Trader yet. For the other ones, apparently they put you in like right away after that. But if you're doing Top Step Trader, then you have to go and pass the combine a second time during their like trial period. And then that's another 2 months. Okay. So now that's $600 that you could have put into that account. Right. And then you already could have started an AMP account and started trading sim through that. And then at that point, then you actually start trading. But here's the thing. In Treasuries, there is significantly different behavior. From my observation, at least, I have noticed that there is significantly different behavior in the market from about March, the end of March, until September, right? So for 6 months. 6 months. I love how all of Wall Street Bets puts this morning at the open and they're getting crushed right now. Ooh. Yeah. Well, I am not too... the whole... Wait. I'm so ADD. I got two thoughts here. Anyways, so that's another 6 months where you might not even be able to make a whole lot of money, right? So at that point, to get to the point where you're really making good money in Top Step Trader, it's like almost a year. Almost a year, depending on when you do it. So I think that you're better off saving that money. Just put what you would have put into the combine, put it aside every month, and do it that way. That's what I've been doing. And I think that's better. Anyways, the big question in the market right now is, we know that earnings and earnings guidance are going to be not as good, but how much of that not as good has been correctly priced in by the market? And I think what you saw today was Citi came out and it was bad, but it wasn't like a total disaster. And a lot of it was based on poor bond trading, which is interesting because I didn't think that bond trading was that bad, but that's what was one of their big losses. Those banks are starting to diversify. So, for instance, Goldman Sachs has been doing stuff with consumer banking. Citi already has consumer banking, but I digress. And when we came in today, we had a really big move down in the overnight. So was that big move down in the overnight really justified? Not really. And so when you look at the big picture in the E-mini, what is happening today is really the thing is the most likely scenario in market profile, right? Isn't it, if you open outside of the previous day's range 60% of the time you will move back into the previous day's range? And if you are able to move back into the previous day's range and stay there for a full bar, which we haven't done yet, by the way, but if we are able to trade up into here, into the 90 area, then there's chances are that we will trade to the other side of that. So to probably 95, probably all the way up to 95. Why is on this day there's that much? Because we haven't gotten up there. Must have been some of that volume must have happened on the open or something. I don't know. Anyways, it was like the most likely scenario. So that people in Wall Street Bets went and bought puts at the open. Idiots. I'm calling you out right now, Wall Street Bets. If you bought puts on the open, you were making a very poor risk reward decision. Not that I knew that everything was going to go up, and I made a lot of mistakes today too, but that's just, here in retrospect, we can say you made a really poor trade. Anyways, I would say that now it's going to get put on the subreddit, and they're all going to come and harass me, I'm sure. Okay, I'm going to post my notes. There's actually a good number of people watching today, so I just want to make sure, if you're new, check the links in the video description. There's the Discord, and there's a lot of great information in the Discord if you go to the Econ and Education channel. Best free resource out there. And then I have a Patreon, and on the Patreon I post cryptocurrency notes every day. And I have an indicator that has been very, very reliable and is pretty good at predicting major tops and bottoms. So when we were like way overvalued, it called it. When we bounced off of 6,000 for the first times, it told us that it was oversold, and I took some trades there and made some good money off of cryptocurrencies off of that. So there's stuff at Discord that can totally make you money. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. So if you guys have any other questions or comments about all that, because I know we just talked about a lot, put them in now. I'm going to post the notes, and I will be back in about 5 minutes, and I'll answer any other questions in there before leaving at the top of the hour.
Seen via the ITV that UK's ERG seen voting with May on Tuesday.
There we go. I would like you to have some kind of noise. Well, so I try to keep myself talking as much as possible, but it's really hard sometimes.
Okay, so the UK's ERG stands for European Research Group, and it is chaired by Jacob Rees-Mogg. So the UK's ERG, just to repeat, is seen voting with May on Tuesday. That's via the ITV.
I've thought about doing background, like if I could get some good classic, like a Baroque going in the background or something lively, then I would do that. But then you run into copyright issues and stuff like that. So I've avoided doing anything like that. And anything that wouldn't be actual music would just be fucking annoying, right? But yeah. You don't need to create by any indicators versus NinjaTrader if you're not a programmer. Oh yeah, totally. I really think that NinjaTrader, now that they have the order flow suite, NinjaTrader really comes with everything that you need to trade. Totally. I feel that way, at least. Now I still program my own stuff because I've liked to do things, and a lot of my own stuff has been more about statistics. So anyways, yep. So that's it. It looks like they will go and make the new low now, but that's not something that I personally can trade. Interesting that they only made it back to the 05. Yeah, this wants to go. I'm going to be very interested to see where the E-mini gets today, to see if the move down in Treasuries was because of the expected buying or if it was because of something else. But because to have a trend day on a Monday is really weird. But it sure has been a move, hasn't it? And I'm happy that we're getting moves like give us more time to more trading opportunities. Yep. Anyways, all right, so I guess I'm just rambling now, so it's time to go. I will see you guys tomorrow. You have a good